$366,000. A new record for a female athlete. Caitlin is the needle. Smashed the old record held by Serena by $100,000.
Who's going to be the next face of the NBA? We don't get to decide that. The marketplace decides that. The people have chosen Caitlin Clark. They enjoy watching her play, her style, her energy, her shot. Whether it's because her game mirrors one of the greatest players in the NBA in Steph Curry or not, I don't know what it is. It's an intangible thing, right? Yes, we can say she's a dog. Okay, there's been other dogs. Okay, she's a great shooter. There's been other great shooters. She has it. She's got the thing.
And for Caitlin Clark to have the awareness to drive the eyeballs there, you have to give her so much credit.
She is not only the needle mover, she is the needle. But at this point, it's pretty clear Caitlin Clark is driving the bus and driving the sales.
As a rookie and making history. And so I understand her point of view. She wants to probably let other athletes shine. She also says, like, it's earned, not given. There are other people that can use that spotlight to compete as well. So I think Caitlin, she moves because she knows people follow her no matter where she goes, and she's very strategic about dictating where her value is.
Angel Reese autographed box of Reese's Puffs sold for $9.99. Is that real? $366,000 rookie card. Who do you think we were paying it for? Asia Wilson? Stop it.
You won't believe what just happened. Caitlin Clark, the rising superstar of women's basketball, just shattered a record held by the legendary Serena Williams, and not by a small margin. Her autographed rookie card just sold for a jaw-dropping $366,000. That's right, $366,000. For a player who hasn't even completed her first season in the WNBA. Let that sink in. This isn't just a story about a sports card. This is a shift in the entire sports world. One that's got everyone talking, arguing, and wondering, is Caitlin Clark already the biggest name in women's sports? Or is this hype? Let's break down the controversy, the numbers, and the undeniable impact of the player who's changing everything. At first glance, it looked like just another high-value sports card hitting the auction block, a rare Panini Prism WNBA Gold Vinyl 1 of one autographed rookie card featuring Caitlin Clark. In the world of sports memorabilia, one-of-one cards are already considered gold. Add a rookie signature, throw in a rising superstar, and you've got something special. But no one expected what happened next. When the bidding dust settled, the card had sold for a jaw-dropping $366,000. Not only did it break the previous women's sports card record, but it left that record in the dust. That prior record? Held by none other than tennis legend Serena Williams, whose 2003 Net Pro patch autograph sold for $266,400 in 2022. Caitlin Clark didn't just nudge past it, she blew it away by $100,000. And let's be clear, this isn't some 10-year WNBA veteran we're talking about. Caitlin hasn't even completed her first pro season. She's still technically a rookie, still adjusting to the professional pace of the league, and still finding her rhythm. Yet somehow, she's already achieved what no woman in sports memorabilia has ever done before. So what does that mean? This isn't just a story about collectors. It's a story about confidence, specifically, the kind of confidence that drives people to risk six figures on a player's future. That's not fandom. That's a financial statement, a long-term bet. It says, I believe in this athlete so much, I'm willing to gamble real money on her legacy. And it's not just one person. This sale sparked waves throughout the sports investment world. Collectors, auction houses, sports networks, everyone took notice. Because when an unproven rookie breaks the most iconic record in women's sports collectibles, it's not just news. It's a signal. A signal that Caitlin Clark isn't coming. She's already here. In the past, whenever a game needed buzz, analysts would say, this player moves the needle. It meant they generated excitement. They got people talking. They made the game better. But Caitlin Clark? Let's be real, she is the needle. There's no one else quite like her right now in women's basketball. Her game isn't just technically great, it's visually electric. From the moment she steps on the court, your eyes are locked in. Because you never know what's coming next. A logo three-pointer? A no-look assist? A behind-the-back diamond traffic? It's all fair game. Her confidence radiates through the screen. Her movements are crisp, decisive, sharp. She plays like someone who knows the cameras are watching and makes sure to give them something worth recording. And it's not just about the highlights. It's about how she carries herself. That fiery energy, that stare-down swagger, the way she talks to defenders, dares them to press up on her, and then punishes them for trying. It's competitive excellence with Showtime flair. What makes her even more fascinating is that she's bringing a style of play that many fans have never seen in the women's game before. Deep-range three-pointers, reminiscent of Steph Curry, combined with elite court vision, like a seasoned point guard orchestrating chaos. She's not just scoring, she's creating moments. Every game becomes an event. Every play has replay value. And every fan interaction, on social media, in the stands, or through collectibles, becomes part of the Clark experience. The result? She's not just the most talked about player in the league, she is the league, at least in the public eye. Even casual fans who couldn't name 5 other WNBA players know her name. And here's the crazy part. She didn't ask for this. She earned it one shot at a time. This is where things get complicated. Because Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise hasn't happened in a vacuum. The WNBA already has stars. Big ones. Players like Angel Reese, Aya Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, athletes with championships, MVPs, and years of elite-level play under their belts. So why is Caitlin Clark outpacing them in fan support, media attention, and now even the collectibles market? Where's Angel Reese's $366,000 card? Where's Aya Wilson's 6-figure memorabilia? Why aren't their games pulling in the same ratings? Why is Clark's Indiana Fever, a team that didn't even crack the playoffs, suddenly the most talked about franchise in the league? Let's pause and think about that. This isn't a skills issue. These women can hoop. Wilson is a 2-time MVP. Reese led LSU to a national title and became a cultural phenomenon. Ionescu is one of the most versatile guards in the game. These are not second-tier athletes. So the question becomes, why Clark? Why now? Some say it's timing. Others blame media bias. Some whisper about race. And sure, those might all play some role. But at the end of the day, markets move where the emotion is. Fans don't just support athletes. They connect with stories. And Caitlin's story? It's clean, compelling, and deeply relatable. The small-town girl who rose to national prominence. The underdog who played like a superstar. The white-hot rookie carrying an entire league's media buzz on her back. She's not loud. She's not controversial. She's focused. She's intense. She's got an edge. But she balances it with poise. It's a brand of excellence that feels like a mix of Kobe Bryant's mentality with Steph Curry's likability. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Fans have voted with their wallets. Every sold-out arena, every record-breaking card sale, every jersey purchased, every viral highlight, they're all saying the same thing. We want more of her. It doesn't mean other stars don't matter. It doesn't mean they aren't great. It just means right now the gravity is pulling toward Clark. She's the epicenter. Whether people love her, hate her, or don't understand the hype, they're still talking about her. And in the attention economy, that is power. All right, let's talk about what a lot of people are thinking, but not everyone wants to say out loud. As Caitlin Clark's name has skyrocketed in popularity, as her face has dominated headlines and her trading cards have broken records, a controversial narrative has surfaced online. Some claim her rise isn't just about talent. Instead, they argue it's about race. That the media is simply doing what it's always done, elevating a white athlete while black athletes, often just as skilled, get pushed to the side. It's a heavy topic, and it deserves a real, honest conversation. Because let's not pretend history doesn't exist. There is a long, well-documented history of racial bias in sports media. From college to pros, black athletes have often had to outperform just to be acknowledged. Meanwhile, some white athletes have gotten coverage for simply showing up. That's real. That's part of the larger conversation around representation, equity, and media dynamics. But let's also be honest about something else. This isn't the same conversation. When someone drops $366,000 on a rookie sports card, that isn't about race. That's about value. That's about perceived future returns. That's about market projection, not skin tone. No investor drops that kind of cash out of racial favoritism. This isn't a popularity poll, it's a business move. Caitlin Clark's memorabilia is soaring because people believe in her. They see her as a cultural force, a moneymaker, a brand in motion. Whether you like her or not, the data speaks. The market speaks. Fans speak. And here's something else to consider. If this were purely about elevating a white player, where was this same energy for past white WNBA stars? Why didn't they break records? Why didn't their cards hit six figures? Why didn't they headline 41 out of 44 national games? The answer? Because this isn't about being white, it's about being Caitlin Clark. She's not just another white athlete. She's a generational talent, a captivating figure, and a media magnet. She is the moment in women's basketball right now. And blaming her success entirely on race not only ignores her incredible work, it also undermines the legitimacy of real conversations about bias. It cheapens the argument by applying it too broadly. Because when everything is about race, then nothing is. The truth is more layered. Yes, Black athletes still face structural challenges in coverage. Yes, there's room for more diversity in spotlighting talent. But no, Caitlin Clark's rise is not a symptom of racism. It's a reflection of performance, charisma, and timing all colliding in one extraordinary individual. And instead of trying to tear that down, we should be asking what can be learned from it. If you're still wondering why the sports world is obsessed with Caitlin Clark, let's take feelings out of it for a second and just look at the facts. Because the numbers don't lie. Let's start with the basics. When Caitlin Clark steps on the court, ticket sales don't just rise, they explode. WNBA games featuring her show a 105% spike in attendance compared to games without her. That's not just buzz, that's box office. Her rookie debut for the Indiana Fever triggered a jaw-dropping 265% increase in home game attendance. The stadium wasn't just full, it was bursting. People showed up for her, not the team. Her games have been nationally televised 41 out of 44 times. That's almost unheard of in a rookie season. Networks? No, she brings the viewers. She is the viewership. National broadcasts featuring her lead to 200% increases in ratings. Casual fans tune in. New fans are created. Kids start buying jerseys. Adults start collecting cards. She's not a player, she's a movement. And it's not just the numbers, it's the reach. Her name trends on Twitter. Her highlights dominate Instagram. ESPN, Bleacher Report, Barstool, they all post her nonstop. Even people who've never watched a WNBA game in their lives know who Caitlin Clark is. That's not just attention. That's cultural saturation. She's even driving secondary markets, jerseys, trading cards, ticket resale, merchandise. When Clark plays, the economy around the WNBA literally changes. That's something very few athletes, in any sport, have ever done. Steph Curry did it for the NBA. Conor McGregor did it for UFC. Serena did it for tennis. And now, Caitlin Clark is doing it for women's basketball. She's become the kind of athlete that transcends the sport. She's not just pulling the WNBA forward, she's redefining what's possible in women's sports economics. You can argue opinion all day, but the numbers? The numbers won't argue back. Here's a secret that separates the great from the legendary, what they do when no one's watching. And when it comes to Caitlin Clark, the people who have watched her train tell a very consistent story. She is obsessed with getting better. This isn't someone who just shows up on game day and flips the switch. This is someone who builds the switch in the gym, piece by piece, drill by drill, day after day. NBA players have walked into the gym and seen Clark working on two-ball dribble drills, deep corner threes, and fast-paced shooting reps, without a single break. If she misses, she doesn't make excuses. She doesn't move on. She starts the drill over. That's what perfectionists do. They don't tolerate mediocrity. They chase excellence like it's oxygen. There's a story where an NBA veteran said he watched Clark for 5 minutes and realized, she's one of us. Meaning, she doesn't just have talent, she's got the work ethic of a killer. The kind that wakes up early, stays late, and always wants one more rep, even if no one else is watching. You know that old school quote, "The way you do one thing is the way you do everything"? That's Caitlin Clark. Even in practice, she demands precision. Throw me the ball how I want it, or don't throw it at all. That's not diva behavior. That's a champion's mindset. That's how elite shooters get elite results. They don't want chaos. They want control. Even Steph Curry, arguably the greatest shooter ever, once said she reminds him of himself. And if Steph sees something in you, you're doing something right. She's a student of the game, a quiet assassin, a total gym rat. And you know what? That's the kind of player people invest in. Not just because she's great now, but because they know she's going to be even greater later. And that's why $366,000 suddenly makes sense. Because investors, fans, and analysts alike are all watching her, and they're all thinking the same thing. This is only the beginning. Let's be honest. Before Caitlin Clark entered the picture, the WNBA was slowly growing. The league had its loyal fans. Ratings were climbing, yes, but inch by inch. There was momentum, but not momentum. You know what I mean? And then boom. Caitlin Clark got drafted by the Indiana Fever, and the league changed overnight. A team that had barely made headlines in years suddenly became the most talked about franchise in the entire league. Ticket sales exploded. Road games became sellouts. Cities that never even pretended to care about women's basketball were now clearing out their schedules just to watch one player step on the floor. And we're not talking about superfans here. These are casual fans, dads bringing their daughters, college kids buying jerseys, even NBA fans crossing over to check her out. She's not just filling arenas. She's creating demand in places where it didn't exist before. And let's look at the ripple effect. When Caitlin Clark plays in your city, you sell more tickets. You get more press. Your arena gets more national attention. The cameras roll. The interviews happen. The jersey sales spike. She's not just playing games. She's lifting everyone around her. And that includes her opponents. When teams face Caitlin Clark, their brands grow too. Their players get more exposure. Their highlights get more views. In economics, this is what you call a rising tide effect. Caitlin's success isn't a zero-sum game. It's a force multiplier. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Not everyone is celebrating. There's real tension behind the scenes. Some veteran players feel like they've been passed over. Like they've paid their dues season after season with little recognition. And now this rookie walks in, takes the spotlight, and becomes the face of the league. There's talk of jealousy, resentment, even passive-aggressive comments in interviews. The energy isn't always welcoming. And yet, maybe they're looking at it wrong. Caitlin Clark didn't steal anything. She earned it. Every camera, every dollar, every headline, she didn't ask for them. She earned them. With her play, her personality, her relentless drive. And what people often forget is this. Clark's spotlight is so bright, it spills over onto everyone else. Even if you don't like her, you benefit from her. She's forcing more people to tune in, more brands to invest, more kids to watch. And that means more opportunities for everyone. You don't have to love her. But if you're in the WNBA right now, you might want to thank her. Because in just a few months, Caitlin Clark didn't just change a franchise, she changed the entire league. Let's fast forward a little. Right now, Caitlin Clark is already shattering records, and she hasn't even reached her ceiling. So, let's ask the big question. What happens when she actually wins? Because let's face it, it's coming. A championship, an MVP, a scoring title, maybe all three. And when that happens, everything we're seeing right now, it's going to look small. That $366,000 rookie card? Give it 5 years and people will look back and say, man, we should have bought in early. That number could easily double, maybe triple. This isn't a ceiling, it's a floor. Analysts are already calling her a blue-chip investment in the sports world. That's how confident people are. Brands are lining up. Endorsements are stacking. Her influence on youth basketball is growing by the week. Girls aren't just watching her, they're copying her step-backs on playgrounds. Caitlin Clark isn't just creating highlight reels, she's creating a legacy. One that will redefine how we talk about women's sports, not just in basketball, but across the board. She's already done what few athletes ever managed to do: make women's sports mainstream. Not niche, not secondary, mainstream. Her games draw viewership numbers that rival men's events. Her merch sells out faster than some NBA players. She's creating a model for what's possible. And what's next? A signature shoe deal? A $1 million card sale? A Netflix documentary? A media empire? If history is any indicator, we're just scratching the surface. Because the truth is, Caitlin Clark isn't a moment, she's a movement. And when you zoom out, you realize that this isn't just the rise of a player, it's the beginning of an entirely new era in sports. So to the critics, the skeptics, and the doubters, watch closely. The best part hasn't even happened yet. Caitlin Clark isn't just dominating headlines, she's rewriting the entire story of women's basketball. Every shot she hits, every card that sells, every seat that fills, it's all part of something bigger. She's proof that women's sports can be marketable, valuable, and iconic. And while critics argue, while narratives get spun, and while others fight for space in the spotlight, Clark just keeps doing what she does best: showing up and showing out. The fans have spoken. The market has responded. The game has changed. And Caitlin Clark? She's just getting started.